Previously, we discussed how the Mesopotamians got their 7-day week from the 7 planets, and how it might have affected the development of the Jewish week, which might intuitively make you think that they named the days after the planets. But as far as we can tell, there is no real evidence of them actually naming the days. All we know is that they were simply numbered, except Sabbatu. However, when the Greek word was introduced to the Babylonian astronomy, the 7-day week and the planetary reasoning for it was also imported. And the Greeks realigned the names of the planets to match their pantheon of gods.
And this time they actually used their names?
Yes, of course they did, and so did the Romans with their plagiarized pantheon. And it's from the Roman Latin god names that most of Europe got their names of the week. Not all of them though, because unlike the Greco-Roman gods, it is unclear whether the Norse gods were similarly associated with the planets. Therefore, a direct name transfer is much harder. What happened instead is a form of Roman syncretism, which goes something like this. Wow, that's a nice god you have here. What does he do?
Oh, that's Thor. He has a very cool hammer. He has a chariot driven by goats, and he's the god of thunder.
God of thunder, eh? That sounds a lot like Jupiter.
Who's that?
Oh, it doesn't matter. What about this one with the cool hat and stuff?
Oh, that's Odin. He's a trickster god who travels a lot.
Oh man, he looks and sounds exactly like Mercury.
Who are you exactly talking about?
And that's how languages on that side of the map got their names of the week. The only thing that's missing is, why put them in that order? Let's go back to Alexander the Great, or rather Alexander the Dead. At this point, the Ptolemaic dynasty rules over Egypt from Alexandria, and they are studying both the Babylonian and Egyptian astronomy and combining them together, which somehow results in the naming order of the days. You would think that the name ordering will follow a known system like the geocentric model, but that's actually not the case. The exact reason why the days are arranged as such is explained in an essay by Plutarch that is forever lost to us, but our next closest source, Cassius Dio, has an interesting theory that goes something like this. What if we name each hour of the day after a planet? Guess how many hours are there? Well, 24. Why 24? Because the Egyptians invented it and they decided it's 24. Just go with it. But notice that we have 7 hours for 7 planets, so how do we fill the gap? Well, we repeat the cycle within the geocentric order, of course, so now we have 14, 21, 28, and stop segmentation fault. To solve this issue, we moved the extra hours to the next day, and with them we also moved the names. Repeat this for 168 hours, and now we have a full catalog of named hours per week. And the name of each day is decided by the name of the first hour of the day. And regardless of where you start, the order will remain the same. Which goes to show that if humans can't find patterns, they will just create their own. This, shall we call it the planetary week, was spread all around the Greek world as well as India, where coincidentally, the Hindu gods perfectly matched the planets despite developing independently from the West. And with that, almost all the pieces are in place. Just, when do we have the weekend? Now, at this point, the planetary week was spreading through the Roman Empire, but it had also existed alongside the Roman 8-day week. So, how did the planetary week become the most dominant? Well, it all started with Christianity. You see, there was a certain very important event called the Resurrection, which is presumed to have happened on Sunday, which so happens to be after the Sabbath. Since most early Christians were Jews, they naturally adopted the 7-day week, and they decided to congregate on both Sunday and the Sabbath. Over time, however, the church began to evolve its own independent identity. So, to assert its independence and to attract more converts, they gradually began to remove some Jewish traditions, like having to be circumcised or observing the Sabbath. So, by the time Constantine adopted Christianity, the Christians had long asserted Sunday as the only day of congregation, and it became a taboo to observe the Sabbath. Then, in sync with the church, Constantine declared the 7-day week to be the official Roman calendar week. The only issue that never got resolved was the naming. The Catholic Church did try to abandon pagan names and adopt day numbering instead. As we can see, however, this effort went nowhere. In Christianity at least, that is. Because just about 300 years after Constantine, Islam became the new prominent religion in the Middle East. The Islamic week was a simple numbering system with the exception of Friday, which was chosen as the day of congregation, avoiding all the drama with the Sabbath by being the day before it. Saturday in Arabic, however, is still rooted in the Sabbath, pretty much like many European languages. So despite being separated by faith, culture, and language, people in the old world became united by the 7-day week. with 3-day weekends happening close to each other. From its origins as a pseudo-week, through complicated math justifying its existence, to becoming the primary unit of time for 3 major religions. We just cannot live without the 7-day week. It's just an accepted fact of life that nobody in their right mind will ever want to change.